When I bring up divorce in front of my husband, Vito Corti, he happens to be toying with a lace H-strap that's gifted to him by a rising adult film star. Vito, the head of the Corti family, as well as the youngest Don and Emaly, orders his soldado to pick up his new lover tonight. Then, he shoots a languid glance at the divorce agreement on the table. How big of a tantrum are you throwing this time, my dear Donna? I reply calm. I didn't touch the bank card tied to the private account. I also don't want the estate in Emaly as well as the bulletproof convoy. I have already entrusted the asset management authority to your consigliere. Vito is stunned for a moment, but he still thinks I'm still throwing a tantrum. You don't want those assets? Then what do you want? My devotion? Gia, I already told you in the past that you're the woman with the highest position in the family, but it's too boring for a Don to own just one woman. He tries to reach out, feel my cheek, thinking that I'll act the same way as before, that I'll give him in a roundabout way after lashing out at him, but I just avoid his hand. I no longer want Vito's devotion. Now, I just want to leave him. Chapter 1. I dragged Vito Corti out of a pool of blood. 5 years ago, on a rainy night, I was still a capo managing the docks for the Corti family. I was patrolling my territory when I found him cornered by a rival family in the abandoned container yard at the pier. Through my car window, I watched the man fighting for his life in that desperate situation. He moved like a trap beast, every counterattack carrying a destructive kind of beauty. Eventually, fell. Just as a dagger was about to pierce his heart, my men cleared the scene. Holding an umbrella, I walked up, my black heels pressed into the muddy ground mixed with blood as I looked down at this man-covered eye and wound. At the time, the Corti family faced an unprecedented crisis. The old Don was aging, and of his only 2 biological sons, one died in last year's gang warfare. The other despised mafia business and fled long ago to pursue art instead. Inside the family, ambitions stirred. Outside, powerful enemies circled. I'll save you. You repay me with everything you have. How about it? I asked. He lifted his head. Those dark eyes gleamed in the darkness, filled with unconcealed hunger for power and raw ambition. He didn't answer. He simply grabbed my ankle, the force so strong it felt like he wanted to crush my bone. I didn't struggle. I let it study me. I wasn't a good person. I was simply choosing the sharpest blade for myself, and he was ruthless enough, wrong enough, and ambitious enough. I brought him back to the family, taught him the rules, and introduced him to the old Don, Lorenzo C. Corti. Vito didn't disappoint. He even exceeded my control. He was ruthless and possessed astonishing strategic brilliance. In just 3 years, he wiped out all hostile forces and even took a nearly fatal bullet for Don Lore. Enzo. That was the crucial step to his rise. On his deathbed, Don Lorenzo formally adopted Vito as a son, gave him the prestigious surname Corti, and placed the family's power in his. In return, he married me and made me his only madre of the Corti family. At the wedding, he slipped the ruby ring symbolizing the family's highest authority onto my finger and whispered a promise in my ear. Gia Fontana, you are my life, my only woman.